Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviriyam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we were reading the page number 6, the living present. We read a couple of questions of this chapter 3, but we will repeat. So let's start. Questioner. As I can see, there is nothing wrong either with my body or with my real being. Both are not of my making and need not be improved upon. What has gone wrong is the inner body. Call it mind, consciousness, antakarna, whatever the name. Maharaj, what do you consider to be wrong with your mind? Question. It is restless, greedy of the pleasant and afraid of the unpleasant. Master, what is wrong with it seeking the pleasant and striking the unpleasant? Between the banks of pain and pleasure of the river, life flows. It is only when the mind refuses to flow with the life, it gets stuck at the banks. That becomes the problem. By flowing with life, I mean acceptance, letting come what comes and go what goes. Desire not, fear not, observe the actual as and when it happens. For you are not what happens, you are to whom it happens. Ultimately, even the observer, you are not. You are the ultimate potentiality of which the all-embracing consciousness is the manifestation and expression. Question. Yet between the body and the self there lies a cloud of thoughts and feelings, which neither serves the body nor the self. These thoughts and feelings are flimsy, transient, and meaningless. Mere mental dust that blinds and chokes, yet they are there, obscuring and destroying. Master, surely the memory of an event cannot pass for the event, nor can the anticipation. There is something exceptional, unique about the present event, which the previous or the coming do not have. There is a livingness about it, an actuality. It stands out as if illumined. There is the stamp of reality on the actual, which the past and future do not have. So here comes the discussion on the living present, being here and now. Yeah, this is according to this explanation. Everything that happens now in the present moment, and therefore there is. I see a message from Kapilji about a reading session on power of now. This is concerning the same power of now. Yeah. And stop me if you have a question or doubt about this, what we are going to read next. Question, I repeat. Yet between the body and the self there lies a cloud of thoughts and feelings, which neither serves the body nor the self. These thoughts and feelings are flimsy, transient, and meaningless. Mere mental dust and the blinds that blinds and chokes, yet they are there, obscuring and destroying. Surely, the memory of an event cannot pass for the event itself, nor can the anticipation. There is something exceptional, unique about the present event, which the previous or the coming do not have. There is a livingness about it, an actuality. It stands out as if illumined. There is the stamp of reality on the actual, which the past and future do not have. Question: what gives the present that stamp of reality? There is nothing peculiar in the present event to make it different from the past and future. For a moment, the past was actual and future will become so. What makes the present so different? Obviously, my presence. I am real, for I am always now, in the present. And what is with me now shares in my reality. The past is in memory. The future is imagination. There is nothing in the present event itself that makes it stand out as real. It may be some simple periodical occurrence like striking of the clock. In spite of our knowing that the successive strokes are identical, the present stroke is quite different from the previous one and the next, as remembered or expected. A thing focused in the now is with me, for I am ever present. It is my own reality that I impart to the present event. Emphasis is the consciousness I am. That makes the present moment different from whatever event took place earlier or whatever is expected to take place. Question: but we deal with things remembered as if they were real. Master, we consider memories only when they come into the present. The forgotten is not counted until one is remembered, which implies bringing into the now. So when we talk about past, we are not actually talking about the actual event or experience that happened in past, but we are merely talking about the memory of the event, memory of that experience. It is not the present occurrence. It is the memory of the occurrence in that moment. Question: yes, I can see there is in the now some unknown factor that gives momentary reality to the transient actuality. Master, you need not say it is unknown, for you see it in constant operation. Since you were born, has it ever changed? Things and thoughts have been changing all the time, but the feeling that what is now is real has never changed, even in dream. In dream, in deep sleep, there is no experience of present reality. Master, the blankness of deep sleep is due entirely to the lack of specific memory, but a general memory of well-being is there. There is difference in the feeling when we say I was deeply asleep from what I was absent. When we wake up from the deep sleep, we can say, I had a very good deep sleep. That is appropriate because there is I involved there. We cannot say I was absent because I can never be absent. Question. We shall repeat the question we began with. Between life's source and life's expression, which is the body, there is the mind and its ever-changeful states. The stream of mental states is endless. meaningless and painful. Pain is the constant factor. What we call pleasure is but a gap in interval between two painful states. Desire and fear are weft and warp of living, and both are made of pain. Our question is, can there be happy mind? Master, desire is the memory of pleasure, and fear is the memory of pain. Both make the mind restless. Moments of pleasure are merely gaps in the stream of pain. How can the mind be happy? Question. That is true when we desire pleasure or expect pain, but there are moments of unexpected, unanticipated joy, pure joy, uncontaminated by desire, unsought, undeserved, God given. Master, still joy is joy, only against background of pain. Question. Is pain a cosmic fact or purely mental? Master, the universe is complete, and where there is completeness, where nothing lacks, what can give pain? Question. The universe may be complete as a whole, but incomplete in details. Master, a part of the whole seen in relation to the whole is also complete. Only when seen in isolation, it becomes deficient and thus a real of, thus a seat of pain. What makes for isolation? This reminds me this dialogue that is talking about the universe completeness and the individual reality is not whole or not complete. There is a sloka, if you remember, which says, Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnatsya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. You remember this, and this literally means the same what the question answers here. It really explains in a manner that when we say that, we're talking about that supreme energy, the consciousness. Call it Brahman, call it God, whatever. That Sat Chit Ananda is complete, is whole in every sense. And this manifestation is also complete, whole, because this has come from that, or this is the reflection of that. So this is how it is explained here as well. I repeat, the universe may be complete as a whole, but incomplete in detail. The Master, a part of the whole seen in isolation to the whole is also complete. Only when seen as isolation, it becomes deficient and thus a seat of pain. What makes for isolation? Question. Limitation of the mind, of course. The mind cannot see the whole for the part. Master. Good. Enough. That mind, by its very nature, divides and opposes. Can there be some other mind which unites and harmonizes, which sees the whole in the part and the part as totally related to the whole? The problem is we, or rather the mind, divides, and mind, because its nature of division and opposition, it cannot conceive the wholeness of the existence. It divides. But when you transcend that the conception or the perception of the mind and accept the existence as a whole, because the whole manifestation is the reflection of that energy, of that consciousness. Question: the other mind, where to look for it? Master: in going beyond the limiting, dividing, and opposing mind, in ending the mental process as we know it. When this comes to an end, that mind is born. So when you grow or transcend the limitation of the mind, then one experiences the wholeness of the existence. In that mind, the problem of joy and sorrow exists no longer, Master, not as we know them, as desirable or repugnant. It becomes rather a question of love seeking expression and meeting with obstacles. The inclusive mind is love in action, battling against circumstances, initially frustrated, ultimately victorious. Question: between the spirit and the mind, is it love that provides the breach? Master: what else? Mind creates abyss, the heart crosses it. We continue reading chapter 4. But before we continue, let me know if you have any doubts or any question. Real world is beyond the mind. Questioner: on several occasions, the question has been raised as to whether the universe is subject to the law of causation, or does it exist and function outside the law. You seem to hold the view that it is uncaused, that everything, however small, is uncaused, arising and disappearing for no known reason whatsoever. Master: causation means succession in time of events in space, the space being physical or mental. Time, space, causation are mental categories arising and subsiding with the mind. You see, all that we know, all that we can ever know is limited because it happens in the limitation of the space, time, and causation. However, that supreme energy, that Brahman, that God, that energy is beyond the space and time or causation. That is what we are going to read. Question: as long as the mind operates, causation is a valid law. Master: like everything mental, the so-called law of causation contradicts itself. No thing in existence has a particular cause. The entire universe contributes to the existence of even the smallest thing. Nothing could be as it is without the universe being what it is. When the source and the ground of everything is the only cause of everything, to speak of causality as a universal law is wrong. The universe is not bound by its content because its potentialities are infinite. Besides, it is a manifestation or expression of a principle fundamentally and totally free. Let's repeat. Question: as long as the mind operates, causation is valid law. Master, like everything mental, the so-called law of causation contradicts itself. No thing in existence has a particular cause. The entire universe contributes to the existence of even the smallest thing. Nothing could be as it is without the universe being what it is. When the source and the ground of everything is the only cause of everything, to speak of causality as a universal law is wrong. The universe is not bound by its content because its potentialities are infinite. Besides, it is a manifestation or expression of principle fundamentally and totally free. Question. Yes, one can see that one can see that ultimately to speak of one thing being the only cause of other thing is altogether wrong. Yet, in actual life, we invariably initiate action with a view to result. Master, yes, there is a lot of such activity going on because of ignorance. Would people know would people know that nothing can happen unless the entire universe makes it happen? They would achieves much more with less expenditure of energy. I repeat. Question. Yes, one can see that ultimately to speak of one thing being the only cause of the other thing is altogether wrong. Yet, in actual life, we invariably initiate action with a view to a result. Master. Yes, there is a lot of such activity going on because of ignorance. Would people know that nothing can happen unless the entire universe makes it happen? They would but achieve much more. They would but achieve much more with less expenditure of energy. Question. If everything is an expression of the totality of causes, how can we talk of purposeful action towards an achievement? Master, the very urge to achieve is also an expression of the total universe. It merely shows that the energy potential has risen as a particular point. It is the illusion of time that makes you talk of causality. When the past and the future are seen in the timeless now as part of the common pattern, that idea of cause-effect loses its validity and creative freedom makes it a place. I repeat, if everything is an expression of totality of causes, how can we talk of a purposeful action towards the achievement? Master, the very urge to achieve is also an expression of the total universe. It merely shows that the energy potential has risen at a particular point. It is the illusion of time that makes you talk of a causality, when the past and the future are seen in the timeless now. As part of common pattern, the idea of cause-effect loses its validity and creative freedom takes its place. As I said many times, please repeat as many times as you like and try to understand every word of question as well as the answer. Every word is important. Question. Yet I cannot see how anything can come to be without a cause. Master. When I say a thing is without a cause, I mean It can be without a particular cause. Your own mother was not needed to give you birth. You could have been born from some other woman, but you could not have been born without the sun and the earth. Even these could not have been caused your birth without the most important factor, your own desire to be born. It is desire that gives birth, that gives name and form. The desirable is imagined and wanted, and meaning that manifests itself as something tangible or conceivable. Thus thus is the created the world in which we live, our personal world. The real world is beyond the mind's ken. We see it through the net of our desires, divided into pleasure and pain, right and wrong, inner and outer. To see the universe as it is, you must step beyond the net. It is not hard to do so, for the net is full of holes. I think this is the concluding question answer here, and we will stop. I repeat this question and answer. Question, yet I cannot see how anything can come to be without a cause. Master, when I say a thing is without a cause, I mean it can be without a particular cause. Your own mother was not needed to give you birth. You could have been born from some other woman. But you could not have been born without the sun and the earth. Even these could not have caused your birth without the most important factor, your own desire to be born. It is desire that gives birth, that gives name and form. The desirable is imagined and wanted and manifests itself as something tangible or conceivable. Thus is created the world in which we live, our personal world. The real world is beyond the mind's ken. We see it through the net of the desires, divided into pleasure and pain, right and wrong, inner and outer. To see the universe as it is, you must step beyond the net. It is not hard to do so, for the net is full of holes. You see, the real world is beyond our mind. It is our mind that creates the world as we see, as we perceive, as we imagine, or as we conceive. But that's a limitation. It's a limitation of our mind. This is so significant that it is this desire that creates the manifestation. Even the birth of our is not caused by mother. It could be, you could not have been born without the universe indulging itself. You, as the master says, without the sun or without the soil or earth, you could not have been born. But beyond that, without your own desire to be born, you would not have been born. Who desired to be born? That consciousness, that energy, that desire to take a birth. Now here when we say that energy, we are talking about jiva, the limited, the reflected energy. That reflected energy desires to take new birth. And that is because of your karmic account. I will stop here and we will continue from page 11 next Saturday. Does it give any thought on it? Do you have any question or comment of what we have read today or so far?
So, Acharya to me, it gives only that same question. Is it that it is just predetermined and there is no free will at any moment? Or that free will is as per the plan of the universe or the consciousness? The desire that we have is actually the desire of the creation. And what about the other places? Do we have no free will ever at all?
There
No
are
choices.
two factors here. There is one thing which is desire. The other thing is if there is any free will. Largely, there is no free will. Yeah,
Yeah.
largely. So if you remember, we spoke about the reality which is parmathic reality and vyavarik reality, which is transactional reality and
Yeah.
ultimate reality. As far as ultimate reality is concerned, everything is your destiny or your own faith or your own uh, karmic account that leads you.
Right.
All the actions, all the feelings, all the thought that you get experience is predetermined.
Mm.
However, during the transaction world that we have our day-to-day transaction living, there are opportunities which have your willpower, is your desires. So, for example, right now, after reading, I asked if there are comments, and you raised this point. Now, this point which you raised, is this your free will, or is it already predetermined that you would ask this question at this point of time today? Obviously, we feel it is my free will. It was my instant feeling and thought of raising this question.
Right.
But if you think about it continuously, it is not your free will. Reason
Yeah.
is, it is your upbringing, it is your evolution, spiritually speaking, evolution, that your mind is into asking this question after reading or hearing. Yeah. No, it is not this moment that you instantly raise this question. It has been in your mind without your knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, that it
Yes.
is now that because of your evolution, that because of your spiritual evolution, that it occurs now in this moment that you raise this question, though it is there as a memory that you needed this explanation. You all this become a cause of reading this subject or talking about this subject today, and you raise this question. So right now it may feel like it is my choice or my will, my desire to ask this question. But when you investigate, ultimately that also is because of your destiny, your karmic account. You earned so much karmic merit that you are in position to raise this question. So that is the reason why I always believe that everything, if you try to contemplate, you will find that your question is dissolved. Question was, is there any free will? Is there any free choice? Or is everything predetermined?
Yeah.
Keep asking yourself the same question. And you say, I raised this question right now. Was it my choice? Was it my free will? Apparently, yes. You will say yes. But if after getting that yes, ask the question on the yes. Why did I say yes that it was my free will? It is basically because you have earned that merit, the karmic merit on the subject of spirituality of this level, that you needed the explanation, you needed the clarification, you needed the answer. And that is what I call that you have gained that knowledge, gained that evolution, they gained that mind level that you raise this question. That does not happen instantly. The faculty of mind, the main job is raising the doubt, questioning, and dividing. Whatever is that you read, you would, your mind, when I say you, I mean your mind would raise a question. How can this be? This cannot be. It is the mind that try to divide it, try to oppose it.
Right.
So Maharaj here, Master says, try to know that limitation of your mind and make that mind silent, and then contemplate on your question. In other words, you will transit your limited mind, and that what you have earned as a merit through your different karmic account would dissolve your question by saying, you would yourself come up with that feeling that my raising this question is because of my reading this subject over and again, or been reading this related subject, and therefore I'm in position to ask this question. It is not as if it is instant gut feeling, or it is something that you raise right now.
Right.
Unfortunately, we do not know it. That's the mystery. We do not know that we know it.
Yeah. So it is that everything is laid down and we are just passing through it. It seems so.
Acharya, here,
Like a
one
process.
small story which I always, Salman's father, I don't remember his name. Well, if anybody remembers, he's given one story which always comes to my mind. Always, he says that there is a hanky. There's two ends. One end he says that where are you born? How will you born? Which family will born? What time you will born? It's not in your control. And the other end is you will where you will die, how you will die, which place you will die, all are not in your control. So that is all predetermined.
True.
So because of your all karmic accounts and also, so whole of our life we say that okay, this is in my control or I do this. I think so what he tried to explain was everything is uh, happening and you just accept it. Be a just seer of it. That comes to my mind always. Uh, Try to relate it. Maybe if you can uh, me again.
Yeah. See, this, as we will continue reading, you will also know about it. That awareness. We speak about consciousness or energy or Brahman or in Tattva, and here Master talks about Nisargata Maharaj always believed that it is awareness that is more significant. It is awareness that makes you aware of that energy, that consciousness. Now, the desire to be born at particular location or particular parents is the desire of that consciousness, of that jiva. And where does the jiva drop the body? We call it death. Though it may not be known to us, but in reality, the jiva knows it. The energy knows it. When, how, and where the jiva will go out of the body. It is all part of the divine plan. It is our limitation, in which is a blessing, in my opinion, that we do not know it. Imagine if we knew how, when, and where we will be liberated, or rather, jiva will leave this body. Yeah, imagine the situation if you knew that while you are hearing what you are hearing, you would lose your body, or body will lose the jiva. Imagine that situation. So it is a blessing that we do not know it, which is part of divine plan or divine design. Also, we are ignorant that it is us as a jiva that we desire to take birth at in particular family, with particular parents, and in particular location. All is according to the jiva's desire. And that desire is based on your karma. When we say karma, I'm talking about jiva's karma, which is jivatma's karma. It is because to complete your karmic account, you choose to take birth in a family where you have opportunity to grow further, to evolve further. The jiva knows that the family gives me circumstances or opportunity to grow, spiritually. Yeah. So that desire of jivatma is the cause of your birth in particular family, in particular country or location, which we do not know. But according to all the wisdom, the ancient wisdom, that is how it is. So the fact is that ultimately we have to accept the existence and flow with it, as Master says. The trouble comes that our expectations holds us back and does not let us flow with the time, flow with the life. Moment you adopt the principle of accepting the existence and reducing the expectation, you will experience less and less painful situation. The painful situation comes when the expectations are not met. So one has to learn how to reduce the expectation and increase the acceptance, attitude of acceptance, whatever as it is. However, it is only our mind that says it is good or not good, right or wrong. It is the job of our mind. The reality is as it is. That is why the famous statement, isness of ease is what it is. Isness of ease is what it is. Fundamentally, that's the bottom line. You accept it. That's it. And the moment you come to a term of acceptance, you will realize you will experience much less painful situation, or rather you will be more peaceful and in a condition to spread smile. It's good to learn this, good to read it, good to learn, but it is very important, as I say, to practice it. Yeah, that's bottom line. So if we can, starting from today, at least remember from time onwards, now onward, to accept whatever it is. Whenever circumstances or situation arises that you wanted something to happen and it did not happen, it will hurt you mentally, emotionally. But tell yourself, no, I'm expecting nothing. Let it happen. Whatever it is happening, I'm accepting it. And then see what happens. You will smile at the situation and you say, that's okay. I accept it. It does not mean that you are weak and you are not in position to face it. Only the strong willpower can accept existence. Om. Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya loka samasta sukhino bhavantu loka samasta sukhino bhavantu samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, God, for giving us air to breathe. Thank you, God, for giving us water to drink. Thank you, God, for giving us sun for energy. Thank you, God, for giving us food to eat. Thank you, God, for giving us good health and happiness. Thank you, God, for giving us positivity. Thank you, God, for giving us all that we desire, all that we deserve, all that we need. Thank you, God, for your love, protection, guidance, blessings. Thank you, God, for the existence. Thank you for giving me a chance to serve you.
Thank you, Acharya, for guiding us.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Acharya.
Thank you, Acharya ji.
Bye, everyone.